Do you have an emergency fund?
Yes. Hmm.
And when did you implement it?
But
And why did you implement it? Okay.
I implemented it probably like 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I implemented it because I didn't have an emergency fund. And there was an emergency. So I was like, fuck. But luckily, I was able to figure it out. But it's just like I was sick and tired of always having to figure it out. So I'm like, you know what? I just want this buffer because there's been times where it was constant because of the field that I was in. It was just like cash flow is very important. And when cash flow is up and down, that's something that you want to fall back on. And when you don't have that buffer, my mind is not about, it's not clear. It wasn't creative.
Yeah.
It wasn't in that creativity mindset. It was literally survival mode.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's just like it's not allowing me to be able to kind of earn or like look at all my life with that abundance mentality. It's more that scarcity. So that's what I learned because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? I used to be like, oh, I'm invincible until I turned 30. And then I'm like,
I still feel like that.
yeah, right. And it is a mindset at the end of the day, but it's more about the fact of like why I mean 30 is like I've seen things and people around me getting impacted about things that they never really, they could go disabled or you can lose someone or like mentally, emotionally or physically you can get impacted that will throw you off. So you can't depend on, especially the people that are entrepreneurs. I used to have that mindset that okay, I have these expenses, I just have to work harder and I'll make that money. Now what happens when there's an emergency that comes up and you can't work for a month or 2 months, right? You have to be able to fall back on this. Even if you have a job that's paying you and you're able to still work through it, things happen, right? Basement floods and the insurance company denies your claim and you have to spend $40,000 to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
That emergency fund is something that you can always dip into.
Yeah.
So I think
and it keeps you out of debt, right? You don't have to go and swipe your credit card or line of credit, right?
Exactly. Life just being life.
How many months of expenses do you keep in there?
I aim for about 3.
3.